Yeah, it feels like it.
And here's the action at the finish line. Look at the confidence that these gentlemen are exuding, knowing their jobs. As Barney said yesterday, today it's clipboards and pens, right? Is that?
Yeah, that's right. Although we will be using timing tags as a backup.
Right.
To the paper and pens, but I fully expect the paper and pens will be more reliable than the timing system.
We've got a total of 3 criterium events. Okay, so we've got the 1 hour criterium event, this afternoon to pay a bit of attention to things like you know, cornering and race etiquette. So what we'd like and expect of you all is obviously to not drive aggressively around the track. You know, it's only a world championship, so you know, there's a certain gentleman by the name of Christoph Hipp who was unable to actually make it to this event. And for a lot of you who know him, he did have like a very substantial input into the human-powered vehicle scene. What I think would be good, and it'd be very appropriate for us to do at this moment in time, is if we all just have 1 minute of silence in memory of Christoph, who unfortunately is not going to be here racing with us today.
Final race of the 3, so this is the fast fleet. Front guy is now lapping at in excess of 40 miles an hour. Just taking the fastest lap at 64 kilometres an hour. That's under 2 minutes to do 2.1 kilometres. We've got about 30 guys on track at the minute. Just had one retiree due to a puncture. The electronics are holding up. The heat is incredibly hot and we're all burning.
Here it comes!
We call it the Trolly Dash because in the early 1970s, when we started getting superstores in the UK, you used to enter a competition to win 15 seconds or 30 seconds or 60 seconds running around the store with a trolley, collecting as much as you could. And it was a mad thing that would be seen on the television. So we nickname our short sprint race the Trolly Dash. 15 minutes, like it matters. 3, 2, 1, go!
Was it? Would you say the heat was the biggest?
The heat and the distance and the time.
On a big sweeping downhill, misjudged the, well, didn't, just lost the corner, couldn't see where the corner was. And I hadn't learnt the track at that point. Massive off, skidded right off into the bushes. And I heard something would go crack. And it's been creaking badly ever since. And every lap, every time you hit a bump, you can sense you're hitting the bumps a bit harder.
Tim, how did the race go?
Good.
Yeah, you were happy with your performance and
yeah.
the thing?
Yeah, it's good. It's fast. Go ahead. Look at that. Oh yeah.
There's flowers growing suddenly right below you.
It hasn't rained in Kent for a long time. I sprinted into the bushes without really bothering to check what was in the bushes.
I'm Barney Hall, I'm race director for the event and one of the volunteers.
I'm Alan Goodman and I know my place.
Could you guys give me your impression of how this went for you this weekend?
It's been fabulous, it's been hard work, but we've had a lot of helpful competitors. We've had some really good, fast, close racing.
It's been great fun. It's great seeing so many of our friends from Europe coming over and playing with us, and they've been great. We've had some issues, as you've seen, with various technical things, but we've mostly kept smiling.
How does this race compare to some of the others?
It's massive. I mean, when you realise how big it is when you're trying to get the finish order, counting bikes coming over the line, whereas normally, we've got maybe 20 people in an event. We've got 120 here.
At a big event for us, we'd get 40 or 50 riders. We would have maybe 10 or 15 supporters. Here, there must be the best part of 200, 250 people on site. And the support from the guys like this from ICE, who've come along with the works team and supported us enormously, prototype machines, etc. It is just wonderful to see.
I think we should also thank you for coming over all the way to see us, and it's been great having you here. You've been good fun, and it's just been it's been good having you around.
Thank you very much, you guys. And that's about it, folks. We're going to say goodbye here from the 2018 World Human Powered Vehicle Championships here in Kent, England. We've had an amazing time. We've seen amazing things, and we were sponsored by an amazing company. The fellas behind me, ICE Trikes. Thanks so much. Bye, everybody.
It's got flat tyres.
Oh, that's failed. That's failed.
Failed.
No, you can race with flat tires.
You failed it just because of the color of the frame? Come on, that's not fair.
No, we raced it because of the rider.
Oh. Wait.
That's something.
It's beautiful here in the shade. Really nice.
Hey folks, we're here at Betteshanger Park in Kent, England, with it's Paulo, right? Your name is
Giovanni.
Giovanni. What's
Giovanni Eupani.
Eupani.
Yeah.
We are here at Betteshanger Park with Giovanni Betteshanger.
No, Eupani.
This is the actual speed of the sprint race.
Yeah.
And he finishes. There we go.
Go, that's all right. Go anyway.
Right, he's failed.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
I think he was aiming for me.
Yeah, Wayne! Nice job, man!
Ah!
Wayne!
Sir? Thank you.
Let's go.
So I said, well, that's not my problem. Someone else's.
Camera, Barney, smile.
Please do not sit on the track or you may get killed. That way! No!
stabilized. That's cool.
Yes, that is. In case you fall over,
Yeah.
it needs to go with you. So.
How
Great
was that
race
for you, Gary?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was exhausting watching you guys go by time after time.
Yeah.
So.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So
I
understandable.
hope you guys have a little sympathy for what I had to go through.
Yeah.
Out in that baking sun.
Yeah. And who's throwing water on my head right now, huh? Nobody. That's right. Uh-oh. Watch out. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Wait.
I've got some screw tacks on my spray.
Who better to repair it than
Yeah, my. Yeah. Oh, poor thing. Wow. Oh yeah. Good morning. I think it's off.
And then what you do is you use your hands to protect your crotch from the frame.
Use your hands to protect your crotch.
You hold on to there with your hands. Go on, lift that foot and put it through there.
Nothing to be worried about.
Holy! Oh, hang on. I'll be a little bit too far in the back.
You picked a big guy. Uh-oh.
What's the front tyre look like?
Flat.
Whoa! Too close!
What did you have for breakfast? Can I ask you that?
Beans.
Not beans. This is what you guys eat. Or Lars, he had beans.
Oh, this is uncomfy.
Right, you need to bring your left foot up. Got the metal bar in between. And you need to bring your so undo, go on, roll back, roll back, roll back, roll back, roll back. Right. So bit back further. Yeah. Now we go on the traditional tandem route of 3, 2, 1, go. Yes.
Okay.
I expect you to keep your knees together.
Yes.
And you go 3, 2, 1, go.
Whoa!
Pedal. Pedal.
This is so strange.
What a sight. Look at this. We are here with Giovanni Eupani.
Yeah.
And he has brought one unusual hand-built machine that we're going to talk about. Welcome, and tell me what you brought here today.
Yeah, this is a small velomobile that I built for my wife and actually also for the kids growing up, you know. And yeah, it's built not actually only by hand. The design is made by 3D, and then the tooling on the foam, and then finally I covered everything with the carbon to make a running prototype. And then the next step is to make mold and to probably make a little production, you know.
Okay, so this is a prototype, and you'll see how it does and may go into production. Now, you are actually a dealer in Italy. Yeah. Tell me what you do there.
Yeah, I'm a dealer. I'm a dealer of Trike and also of Velomobile from Intercity Bike and Velomobile.nl, and also I have some trikes from Velomo and many other things, bikes from Raptor Bike, Challenge. So
you have a very full line of trikes and velomobiles to sell.
You know, it's difficult in Italy where there's not a lot of recommended rider to let people finally found the right product.
Let's get back to your machine here. So you're going to be racing this this weekend, or just here to show?
Too big for that. This is just a small one that is racing my wife. So 10 years ago I was racing my Streamliner that I called the Mad Cow because it's a long story.
All right.
And now I'm racing with the Velomobile because it's much easier for me to do everything, and the liner is a bit difficult, so
Sure.
I have kids to take care, so
it simplifies things a little bit for you. Very good. Well, thank you so much for talking with us, Giovanni. I wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you very much.
We are here with the legendary Mike Burrows, and also I understand this is a special day for you, Mike.
It is. It's my official birthday. I'm 75 today. Being the king of carbon as was in my giant days, I decided it's actually April really, but it'll do for today. So we've got having a little party around it. So even when I lose badly in all the races, there's still something to celebrate.
Anything here apparently in Great Britain to celebrate, I think works. So
yeah, indeed, yes, right. The other thing has stopped happening. The kickball is it's out the window, so it's cycling that's coming home.
Mike, I was wondering, this event is really kind of centered around celebrating your accomplishments over the last number of years. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. It depends how much money they give me at the end of it. It's sort of nice. I've been racing half my life in recumbents. Maybe I should hang my heart rate monitor up this year, I think. So it's a nice, and it's all come together, hasn't it? The weather, which it hasn't been like this in '76, so this is a bit special for me. The venue I think this is the best cycle track in the world. Certainly the best I've ever raced on, and I've raced on a few now, whatever. It's the biggest entry we've ever had for a world, so we've got all friends from the continent over, whatever sort of thing. So it's just going to be a fabulous event, whatever. It sort of can't go wrong, really, sort of thing.
And representing the recumbent community here in Great Britain, what does this world event mean to someone that lives here, that it's here in Betteshanger Park?
Nothing.
It could have been held anywhere.
This is Britain and this is cycling. We don't take any notice of cycling. We sort of had to win the Tour de France before people recognise, and even at the moment it's going on and they're barely mentioning it, sort of thing, because the other game's on at the moment still, sort of thing. So no, sadly we don't get as much recognition as we should. Well, the bicycle has got a fantastic history. Last year was the 200th anniversary of the invention of its precursor, the Draisine, whatever sort of thing. And to me, it's got an even greater future. It's a fabulous machine, whatever, and people just sort of don't want to recognise it in this country. It's always been seen as pauper, as working class transport. And it was only ever that probably in the 50s. Before that, they couldn't afford them, and after that, they could afford motorbikes and cars. There was a very brief period that it's middle class. I mean, if you look at the people who ride bicycles in London, where it is a cycling city, and at least Transport for London recognise that the only way to improve transport in central London is for more people to ride bicycles. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else will do the job, sort of thing.
Because it's gridlock pretty much there.
It's gridlock, even with the congestion charge, and they can't have any more underground. There isn't any ground left to dig into underneath anymore, sort of thing. The place is hollow already. You can't get any more buses in, and they pollute anyway. We're all dying. I mean, they complained about Russian poison in Shrewsbury the other day. It's diesel fumes in Oxford Street you want to avoid, sort of thing. It's just terrible. So no, more bicycles in every shape and form. And the Laidback is part of that. We're not a replacement for the conventional bicycle, but Laidback bicycles do the long distance gentle touring incredibly well.
So you've kind of alluded to the changes and the future being bicycles, and you have always been on the cutting edge of development for bicycles. So I'm wondering, what are you working on right now that you can talk about?
I'm not, well, the current one is the Soup Dragon, which is up in the tent there, but that, in effect, my half of that is really finished. It's a cooperation with London South Bank Uni, and Glenn Thompson has done some very nice computer work on aerodynamics, which today are well beyond what looks right stage, as it were, sort of thing. They have to be well modelled. But I've done the chassis, which is still something that engineers can have an input to. The only thing I've got left, I've got to ride it. I've got to try and get a British hour record. Now, if I can get a British hour record, which stands at 47 miles, then it's fast enough for a fit young thing to get a world record, which is 57 miles. At the moment, I can't actually see where I'm going. It's got a nice window at one end and I can see through it, but it's such a narrow angle, and we've been playing on Rockingham Motor Speedway, which is a replica of Indianapolis. It's an Indy circuit which has 4 distinct corners, and following them round is not practical, so we're going to have to install a video vision system, which others have used. It works fine, so that's on hold while we get that sorted out. And until that's finished, I can't mentally sign off on it. It's really quite frustrating. There's other things I do want to do, but I just can't go around to doing them because this machine, I don't know what it's going to do. I've ridden it, but I've got no idea what the potential is. So until I have, then that will.
Okay, so let's take one more step further. And if you can give me your idea about where you see the bicycle development going in, say, 10 years or so, where's it going to head? Where's it going to head?
Well, I'm sorry to be slightly impolite. This is the cliche question, which if I knew what it was, I would be doing it, and I probably am. So it's the only answer I can give you, because clearly nobody knows what the future is. Yes. It doesn't exist. So, I mean, the thing I'd like to see is what I've been doing a long time, and it goes back to the Giant days, is the city bike. We talked about bikes' future. Now, you can't actually improve the performance of a bicycle for a commuter. It's not possible, because aerodynamics, it's an irrelevance, whatever, strength, weight, you can do a little bit, but it doesn't make much difference with the shopping and that. What you can improve is the ongoing, the day-to-day hassle and aggravation of punctures, of little niggly things, of maintenance, whatever. And again, I nominally improved all of those things years ago with my monoblade idea. I didn't invent monoblades, but using monoblades and drum brakes on a city bike, enclosed chains, the structural chain case, and the little thing I'm hacking around on here. That's it. It solves all those problems. And when I was with Giant, the engineers, they understood it, and we wanted to get that into production back in the 90s. But the small companies who supply the components of Giant, which is bike manufacturers don't make gears, basically, whatever. No, they just look blankly. And this is Giant, the world's biggest bike maker. We're going to buy a lot of these off you if you could make them for us. We got no cooperation, so they gave up on it, and that's very, very sad to me, sort of thing, because the future of cycling, it wants a 21st century bicycle. We're riding something that was designed by Thomas Humber in 1890, the diamond frame as we have it today, whatever. And my current pet whinge is that the people who ride the Tour de France, British cycling, all of these people, they've forgotten what their job is. Right? And the clue is, if you move sideways into motorsport, Daimler-Benz put a lot of money into Formula One, okay? It's not because Lewis Hamilton likes driving fast, is it? It's to sell their shiny motor cars. Ergo, the Tour de France is there for one reason and one reason only, to sell the bicycles, okay? So why don't they hold them up when they get off at the end? That's the point. You should be holding the bike up and say, it was nothing to do with the medical exemptions. It was this bicycle that helped me win the race, you stupid bloody people, for Christ's sake. And that's what they're there for. That is their only job, is selling bike. The first bicycle race was run and sponsored by Michelin to say how good their tyres were. And ever since, that's been the point of it. So the bicycle needs to move on. I mean, when Chris won back in 92, with the monocoque bike, suddenly, wow, that's a bike. And of course, you can buy into that. Chris Hoy wins a sprint, and it's his legs. It's obvious his legs that win the sprint. It's nothing to do with his bloody bicycle. You can't buy that. You can't buy Chris Hoy's legs. You could buy Chris Bourman's bicycle. If they hadn't banned it, you could anyway, sort of thing. But no, they banned it, so they're not allowed to ride them. And people only want to ride what their heroes want to ride. Now, I can make you a monocoque tomorrow. You won't buy it because Chris Froome isn't going to ride one in the time trial.
Right.
And that's it. People ride what their heroes ride. And that's it. No,
that's so true. Yep. I was going to say, we had a discussion with Ice Trikes last night about just that. How do you sell more trikes, that sort of thing? You have to find someone who is going to ride that the people know that they want to emulate, and that's exactly your point.
Yeah, I mean, the marketing, I'm saying, 7 years with Giant, the world's biggest bike maker, and I learned then that there are no experts in marketing anyway. Somebody comes up with an idea, it clicks, or it doesn't click, or whatever sort of thing. I mean, the current trend for the time trial bikes in the Tour is the level top tube, which is like really stupid, but someone's done it. None of the others have a clue, sort of thing. But there are no. I'm not the best bike designer in the world. I'm the only bike bloody designer in the world, because there's no one else out there has ever done anything of significance. Alec died the other year, sadly, whatever. So that's it. We were the only two people who had changed the bicycle without ruining it. And basically, everyone else just bugs it up, whatever sort of thing. So it's a great shame, whatever. And again, when I say Giant, we met everybody. And they're not anti-development, anti-progress. They just don't understand. They're just really not quite sure what they should be doing, what they are doing, and how you get to them. I don't know.
That was going to be my next cliche question.
If I knew that, I wouldn't be talking to you now, would I?
And I'm so glad that you are talking to me, Mike.
I'd be sitting in a very tall tower. No, I wouldn't actually, because the one thing I learned a long, long time ago is money doesn't make you happy, whatever. So
it doesn't. And this is emblematic of how down to earth apparently you you are. It's so nice to be able to chat with you about your considerable knowledge.
Sitting on top of a slag heap, as it happened. This is the remains of Kent's last coal mine.
That's right, right beneath us.
So actually, it's got all the best places. If it was raining here, you'd know all about it because it gets very black.
It looks like it might.
It's still the best track in the world, even when it's black and ruddy sort of thing. But no, it's a fabulous. No, this is it. It's nice. What I learned along the way, very much the Buddhist approach. Just enjoy what we're doing. We enjoy it. We're having a great time here. Whatever. If no one else wants to join in, fine. Who cares? Whatever. So let them go and ride the Tour de France. It's stupid, and I'm going faster than Chris Froome is. So what's not to like?
That's exactly right. And when people take a look at the video that I've shot of many of the runs today, they're going to see huge smiles on all of the riders' faces, and the camaraderie that we've seen here is a wonderful, warm community. Do you find it so?
And it was what really brought it home was when we suddenly became the great cycling nation and in Beijing, and afterwards they burned the skin suits, right? Because they'd come into what you have is you have little seams in the right places to trip the airflow, and it's very complicated aerodynamics. Discovered in Germany in the 1930s, like everything else was, but they finally got around to doing it. Now, here, everybody's showing off their latest ideas. Yeah. They want everyone to look, I've done this, that makes it go so much faster. You know, he's then going to do something, and then it keeps moving it on. I mean, it's what the worlds have always been around. I mean, we've been coming to these events since 82, whatever sort of thing, and just learning from each other and driving it forward. We've now got machines that go so much faster than Chris Froome, but you can go shopping in them. You know, the Velomobiles here are just fantastic. Right. The guys rode them all the way from Germany.
So it's a shame that it's a niche market. On the other hand, as you say, we don't really care about that. We love what we're doing and what we're showing and how we're developing and moving bicycles forward.
Well, in a sense, it's a bit like Groucho, except we're in the exclusive club, but we don't care about anyone else. Okay.
Yes, Groucho Marx. I can't think of a better way to end this interview. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, Michael. It's a pleasure.
Hope you enjoy the rest of your stay here.
Thank you very much. Okay. We are here with John Williams of Velo-Ads, famous YouTube channel. There's a channel that I watch all the time. I hope you guys will too. John lives here in the UK and talks about the recumbent bikes, his Velomobile, and all sorts of things. John, welcome.
Thank you, Gary. Nice to meet you. I can't believe you're here. Did you catch the wrong plane?
Yes, I was headed for Australia at the Boomerang Festival, and somehow I ended up here. So, yeah, I know it's kind of odd. So, John's been on the show, but I never have met him face to face. So this is a pleasure for me as well. So, John, you had a little bit of an adventure getting here. I guess you were going to ride in the race. Tell me what happened.
Well, we own an old German VW camper van, and it decided to spill its guts on the motorway. So all the water leaked out of the engine, and we spent 2 days getting here when it should have been 2 hours. So we're here now, but we had to go back to London. I did a few repairs, and so we didn't end up bringing the bikes due to lack of sleep and whatnot. And we're now here and happy in Kent. Yeah, it was a bit of a mission. But yeah, one bit of advice to everybody. Cycle to Kent, don't drive.
That's going to work. It may take well, obviously it doesn't always take longer than does it. So, yeah. All right, John. So what were you going to do? You had entered. What were you going to ride here, and what was your intentions?
The plan was to ride a race in my Wow, because it's a bit better in the corners than the Quest. The Quest is faster here and the straights, but I didn't fancy tipping over, so the Wow would have been the one.
Okay, let's finish this up with, if you can give me an update on Velo-Ads. How's that going for you? What do you do with Velo-Ads besides the YouTube channel? You promote something. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we promote human-powered vehicles, and we sell advertising space on human-powered vehicles, and we have companies advertising on our bikes in London. And yeah, we just finished a campaign with a company called what were they called? Team London Bridge, that was it. And they bought one of our Lycra socks, and we stuck that on their bike and printed some of their advert on there, and it went really well. And so, yeah, we're getting a lot of interest, and long may it continue.
Long may it continue. Well, John, a pleasure to see you again in person, and we hope to see you again online.
Yeah, definitely. I look forward to it, Gary, and great to meet you and Lars. And you're doing a fantastic job, and keep tuning in, guys, to Laidback Bike Report.
Thanks a lot, John.
Take
care.
Here we
go. All right, we are here with Philippe. Philippe happens to be a dealer in France, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about his shop. So, hello, Philippe.
Yeah, hello, Gary.
It's very nice to have you stop by and talk to us. So, can you tell me a little bit about the name of your shop?
So the name of my shop is Velo Fasto, and it's based in Rennes, in Brittany. So not far from England, in fact.
Okay. And how long have you had Velo Fasto?
I started in 2010, at the end of 2009, and I started with ice trikes in 2010.
Okay, good. And so now you're selling ice trikes. Tell me about your line of bikes. So you have ice. What else do you sell?
Yeah. So I sell only recommends, or almost only recommends. Also, I assemble electric assist, or I also sell some tandems and so on. But usually it's mostly recommends. So mostly trikes now, because the trikes are much more popular now than two-wheelers in France.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about the market for recumbent trikes in France. Is it a large market? Do you see it growing? Tell me about it right now.
The number of people who ride trikes is growing, but the market is not really growing. I think the sales are a bit stable every year, but every year it's more and more recommend people who ride recommend. So people can see more and more recommends in the street and on the countryside and so on.
So, and when you meet somebody in the street or you talk to somebody about your shop, what do you say to bring them into the shop? How do you sell recumbent trikes? What do you tell them to make them interested?
In fact, I do a lot of events, outside events. So yeah, at least 20 events each year. So it's quite a lot of job. A lot of weekends are in different kind of events, but. I think that's the best. Sometimes we are in some events where about 50 or even sometimes 100 people try trikes or bikes during the weekend or during one day sometimes. So I think it's the best way to go to see the people and to make them try to discover themselves how fun it is to ride such bikes.
Right, and it sure is. Now, you of course ride a trike yourself, and you've evidently taken a little time off from the shop because you're here in Kent, England right now at the Worlds.
Yeah.
What types of course did you run, and how did you do?
So I run all the races from this event, from the World Championship, the 5 races. It was really funny, and I didn't want to miss that because it's really close to France, and so it was not so complicated for us to come. And especially when I knew that ICE was a sponsor of this event also, and really this trike is really my favorite. So it's only fun riding this. So I just wanted to come and race with other trikes, and it was very funny because we are 24 trikes during the race, and that's the first time in my life I ride with so many trikes at once. So it's really
that was special for you. Yeah. Did you win any awards?
I was second in the general.
Three track unfair, I think. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, 3 track unfair. So I finished second. So I'm quite happy because I didn't expect that.
Right. So very, very good. Well, I want to thank you for stopping and spending a little time with us, telling us about your shop. We wish you all the luck in the world. Good luck, Philippe.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Gary.
Okay.
I hope you've all enjoyed it more than I have, and I've enjoyed it a lot. So it has. No, it's been really good. So before we get on to handing out the gongs for all the prizes for the different categories, there's a few thank yous that I first need to mention. So first we've got to acknowledge the sponsors who have actually helped this event. First and foremost, we've got Ice Trikes, who have done like a fantastic job. They've really done a lot to help support this event. So we also need to thank Tandem, Schwalbe and High Five, who have had great input in sort of helping provide some of the goodies and working on sort of the publicity material as well. Beyond that, okay, so in first place in the juniors we have Nils Voss. We'll go on to road bikes. So we had a couple of road bikes as well. So in second place, Dave Tomlinson. Get the right order. Okay.
I'm demonstrating how it should be done.
In first place in the rowing category, we have Evo Ike.
Who is also on the way to the ferry with his son.
On the way to the ferry. On the way to the ferry with his son. So next we have another category that I'm actually a big fan of, and often you don't see in sort of HPV circles, and that's the pedal cars. In second place we have Adele Tyson.
Yeah. There you are. That's
First place, Rob Daniels. We now go on to female unfaired. So in third place, Rosemary Buller. In second place, Kim Wall. And in first place, Anna Mae Bronneman. Now we go on to female part fed, and we have two in this category. In second place, Heather Fortnum.
Off with one hand.
And in first place, Fiona Grove.
Darling.
Up you go. Okay.
We now move on to female multi-track fully faired. So in third place, we have Daniela Pangrazzi. In second place, Veronica Schaffenroth. And in first place, Eva Navratilova.
Yeah! Hold on to it.
We now move on to male unfaired. In fourth place, in male unfaired, David Hostis.
Over here.
So you just, yep.
I think I probably completely missed that. There you go.
That's right. Stay there until I finish.
Perfect.
Okay, in third place, Philippe Schmaltz.
Uh-oh, you got too many hands.
In second place, Marvin Tunnett. first place, Stein Vandermal.
Thank you very much. He might be out of frame. Nope.
Moving on to male park fed. In third place, Geoffroy Lelive. It's a very colourful sun cream you're wearing now. In second place, Sandro Bolina. And in first place, Hans Strasius.
It's a rat racer.
It's a rat race.
Yeah. Not M5.
In second place, Steve Slade.
Yeah, I think so. He's the dude.
And in first place, Charles Henry. I move on to multi-track, male multi-track. And again, we had quite a lot of competitors in this field. So we've got first, second, third, and fourth prizes. So in fourth place,
is this unfed?
Multi-track unfed. Yeah. Olivier Voiden.
We'll get carried away.
He's tall enough not to stand on the podium.
Yeah.
Okay. In third place, Mark Lohes.
Mark's fault.
Third.
Second place, Philippe Descubes. And in first place, Matthew Leruez.
More than that.
You did it. You did it.
Well, what he already has one. Well done.
It's a multi-track fully fed. And again, we have 4 prizes in multi-track fully fed male. So, in fourth, Matthias Koenig.
No, that's him. I may never see him.
Okay.
He's gone on the ferry.
Okay, in third place, Richard Schaffenroth. In second place, Werner Klomp. And in first place, Daniel Fenn.
How about that?
In third place in the overall, Steve Slade.
What?
In second place, Daniel Fenn.
There we go. Yeah.
And can anyone guess who first place might be? Okay.
Right there.
Charles
Charles.
Henry.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Well done.
Time ago, Formula One, the racer David Coulthard had a very unlucky season and was described as being the unfortunate Scotsman. So the British Human Power Club has had an unfortunate Scotsman trophy for the person who's had the most bad luck. And it's my greatest honour to present it on this occasion to Mike Burrows.
Speech! Bravo!
This is a day at the office. It's always like this for me. So I would like to thank everybody for making the birthday ride so special with all the bicycles. That really was. So at least I led one race home.
Thank you, which I forgot, and that's to every single one of you, because without this event, we do all the boring stuff in the background. It's you guys that actually make the event what it is and what it has actually been. So I want to thank you very much. Give yourselves a big round of applause.
Thank you guys for organising.